Another RV manufacturer is out of business, or are they?
And the way they're going about this, guys, is extremely poor. If I were a consumer, I would be pissed.
There's a lot of questions out there, guys. We're going to try to answer them in this video. We have some important news here, and this came as a result of a subscriber or follower. I'm not sure which one they are. They reached out to us with a question. We're going to address that question and tell you what this video is about, but this is a two-part video. First, before we get into anything, we do want to remind you, please make sure you subscribe, notification bell's on. A lot of our subscribers have been unknowingly unsubscribed. I want to make sure you guys see our latest video. So let's get into a couple of things in here.
One quick thing. We had a subscriber the other day say, I think it was their 13th time being unsubscribed, so they just kept doing it. So thank you for
YouTube could explain why that keeps happening. Anyway, let's start with the first part of this story. It's going to be about Lazy Days RV dealership. I believe they have around 20 dealerships across the United States. One of the larger dealerships. Their latest numbers came out. This is coming from RVtravel.com. And if you've watched our videos when we talk about the monthly sales of RVs, we do that every month. We've been doing, I think, for the past 6 or 7 months. We feature Lazy Days. They still have 2022 motorhomes on their lots, a ton of 23s and a lot of 24s. And the numbers from Lazy Days are not good. We're going to just quickly go over this article and give you some numbers.
This is dated August 15th from RV Travel, as Izzy said. And it's talking about the second quarter results from Lazy Days. So these ended June 30th, 2024. The total revenue for the second quarter was $238.7 million compared to $308.4 million for the same period in 2023. That's a big drop. Total revenue for the 6 months ended June 30th of this year was $509.3 million compared to $604 million for the same period in 2023. So we're talking about pretty big losses here. The net loss for the second quarter was $44.2 million compared to a net income of $3.6 million for that same period last year in 2023. That's a big difference.
When you adjust that net loss, a non-GAAP, which is generally accepted accounting principles measure, it was $18.4 million loss compared to $3.9 million same time period in 2023. Now, compared to the same time period, the first 6 months of 24 compared to 23, they're reporting a net loss of $66.2 million compared to an income gain of $3.3 million for the same time last year. The non-GAAP measure would be $46.5 million compared to adjusted net income of $5.1 million for the same period of 2023. So they're having huge losses, $66.2 million so far. That's not good. And they're trying to address this by cutting back and closing some stores.
Right. So John North, he's the CEO, explained, quote, "Our team is focused on maintaining healthy vehicle inventory, improving F&I, finance and insurance, per unit, and achieving substantial total gross margin improvement sequentially. However, the seasonal improvement in sales volume we had anticipated to occur in the second quarter did not materialize." He said a lot of other things, but moving on into a little bit more of a statement, given the current unit sales volume, we've implemented further cost reduction actions in August. That should be substantially complete by the end of September. We anticipate these decisions will save approximately $25 million annually. We have also closed our Waller, Texas dealership and consolidated our retail operations from 2 locations to 1 in the Surprise, Arizona market.
We'll be heading down to the Tampa show in January. When we were down there last year, the Lazy Days lots were filled. So we want your feedback. People that are around Lazy Days dealers, whether they're in the Knoxville, Tennessee area, I think there's one out in Elkhart, of course the ones in Florida. What are you seeing? What are you seeing there? The concern is when you buy from a dealership that's in trouble, where do you go for warranty work? That's the problem, right? Where are they going to start cutting back to try to save money? It's a big issue. Warranty work is already an issue with RVs, and the dealership is a really important place. So we want your feedback, guys. Which brings us into our next part, the title of this video, another small manufacturer closing, or are they closing? There's a lot of questions around this, and the reason why we're doing this, we had a subscriber reach out to us who's interested in getting a Little Guy Max. So if you haven't heard of Little Guy Max, they're owned by Extreme Outdoors. Little Guy Max makes their teardrop trailers. They're small, they have a cult following. A lot of owners love them. They say they're very well made. We don't really have experience, and we've seen them at shows. It's not really something we're into. They're very small.
They're cool looking. Yeah. I always liked the look.
But a lot of people love them, and they have a huge following.
In doing some research on this, we found that RV Travel had kind of done some legwork on this back in June. They have an article that is titled "Mystery Surrounds Extreme Outdoors Little Guy RVs. Did they go out of business?" This was dated June 7th, 2024. So they said RV manufacturer Extreme Outdoors may well have slammed the doors closed. So there was a lot of talk from consumers and dealers and other people that we're just not getting answers. And we'll get into the way this was handled. I'm really disappointed in this. It's just not a good look, I think, for an RV manufacturer. According to the article, in June, a Little Guy trailer customer reached out. They were looking for service help. They needed some parts. They tried contacting the home office. They received a response that read, this is a quote, "Unfortunately, our company has closed effectively as of May 31st, 2024. And then in capital letters, "Nice to work with you." The communication indicated that it came from Robert Deskovich in the company's parts, technical, and warranty department. And we'll link this down below. You can see the actual message that was.
It's claimed to be the message. We don't know.
Right. This is all speculation.
That's why we're asking for your feedback.
Right, because many of you, I'm sure, have heard this as well. We did a little digging ourselves. We did try to contact them, and we reached them. And the message when they answer, it sounds like a company that's fully functioning, but then there's a voicemail, and it's just, there's no answer.
Well, it's interesting about their website. They don't have really any posts since February.
On their blog area.
That's a little weird
right.
For a company, but maybe they're not active on social media. I don't know.
Well, they were. They just weren't at that point. So on the website, you will find a message, Little Guy family and friends. We're aware of the rumors that are currently surrounding our company. We're still committed to providing high quality trailers and want to keep you updated. We have paused production due to supplier shortages. We are also moving our manufacturing headquarters to a smaller, more efficient facility. There's been a major downturn in the recreational vehicle industry, and we are exploring options to help us through this period. Customer service will be affected during this transition. Please work with your local dealer for any parts or technical questions. You talk about passing the buck.
What do you think about that in the comments?
Yeah, I'm not a Little Guy Max customer, but that would not make me happy.
So it's like, sorry, you're under warranty, but we can't really help you.
You're kind of out of luck.
Now, RV Travel also they did contact several RV dealerships that carry Little Guy Max, and according to representatives and owners of these dealerships, they found that they were caught flat-footed by the news. They were making calls to the home office to try to order new units, and they couldn't. They couldn't get any warranty questions answered. They don't know what's going on.
RV Travel did repeatedly try to contact Extreme Outdoors. Same results. They're not getting any answers. No matter what department they said they've called, all they get is voicemail. They tried contacting the company through the law firm that represents them. The attorney, no help. They messaged Robert Deskovich, who we mentioned before, the person who allegedly told the unhappy customer that they were closed, and surprise, Deskovich has not returned any of RV Travel's requests.
Which is not a good sign. If you're not out of business, you're going to come out and say, no, this is a rumor. We're not out of business, and you're going to set up the customer. The silence is very telling, which is going to move us to this Facebook group, which was provided to us by the viewer that initially emailed us. This is the Little Guy Max, Mini Max, and Micro Max Facebook group. There's 16,400 members. August 15th of this year, there was a post on there, and I'm going to read it verbatim. It says, "Unfortunately, it is now official. Little Guy Max / Extreme Outdoors is now defunct. All warranties have been canceled. We just got a call from our dealership regarding one of our last fixes that corporate have replied back to them with the news that Extreme Outdoors is officially out of business and no warranty fixes will be honored." That is as of August 15th. Today is August 17th. We will be going to the Hershey show. If they're not there, and we're going to ask around, that's just going to be more telling. So look, it's very sad.
You're a detective. With all of this evidence here,
I would stay far, far away from it.
It's pretty apparent that
we don't know 100%, right?
That things are not going well.
There's a lot of circumstantial evidence in here.
Right. I personally am really put off by the way that the consumers are being treated right now. Look, companies go out of business. I understand that. But you don't ignore calls. It's just shady the way it's being handled. They're not being upfront with people. If you're closing, then tell people you're closing. To just avoid the topic, avoid messages, avoid voicemails, and just kind of push people aside. That's really bad.
And again, it just reinforces that negative stigma of the RV industry. And unfortunately, a lot of times they brought this upon themselves for things like this.
Yeah, it's not good.
So the person that wrote to us, we won't mention their name. The reason why they wrote to us is because they're recently retired and they're looking to get a little guy max. But now they've heard about this and they're kind of hesitant. So they were just asking, what do you think? This is what we think. Stay away from it. Even if you get a good deal, stay away from it. There are other companies that are out there that are still in business. Unfortunately, a lot of these companies that are closing they're not the big corporate companies. They're small companies. They just can't handle these kind of losses. And you may be stuck with getting, the corporate. There are some other good manufacturers out there. Intech is, pretty good. Airstream is good, although they've had their problems. But there's other companies out there that you can look at, or maybe pick up something used. But I would definitely not pick one up if it's under warranty. That you're just kind of wasting your time. If you want to pick one up used that doesn't have warranty, then it doesn't have warranty. It doesn't really matter. Maybe you'll get a better price on it.
Let us know if you are a Little Guy Max owner, prospective owner, if you had been looking at them like our subscriber who reached out. Do you have one? What have you heard about this? Again, this is kind of a conversation. This is a lot of things we're trying to piece together here. We've talked to people in the industry, a couple people not really sure of what's going on. So let us know what you have heard.
There may be somebody from the inside that watches our channel, or somebody that lives in the area where the manufacturer is. You're going to see if they're manufacturing, they're going to have a lot of activity there. We want to know, we also want our viewers and subscribers to know so they don't make a bad decision. In the comments below, guys, let us know. What do you think about this? What have you heard? If you like videos like this, to the left of us, we'll put our RV news playlist. We'll put our RV tours playlist, and for myself and MJ, it's a journey of a lifetime, and we'll see you on the road.